Welcome to Season 2 of Stadium Unplugged with me, Jay Menon. Now, if you're not too familiar with the show, it is a show where we peel away at the sports personalities to find out who they are behind their persona. Now today I'm talking to a man who's no stranger to football in Asia and also in England. In the late 70s, however, it was rare to see young football coaches strutting their stuff on the touchline. This Englishman was barely 25 years old when he started coaching his first team in Bahrain. His work there led to bigger opportunities when he was offered the responsibility to help with the national Bahrain football team setup. Stints with clubs in Australia, Malaysia and Singapore followed suit before he was again appointed to assist with the national Thai football team alongside ex-Sunderland, Leeds and City manager Peter Reid and later ex-Manchester United captain and Middlesbrough manager Ryan Robson. We're excited to have Steve Darby on Stadium Unplugged. I want to start from the very start. You grew up in Liverpool, you had a choice of supporting two teams, but you picked
Liverpool. I was literally born on Anfield Road. I went to Anfield Road School. My dad was a Blue. He made me go to Everton games. But you don't know why you become it. But it's in Liverpool basically say you can change your religion, you can change your wife, but you can't change your football team. So you're stuck with it forever.
Okay. Let's talk about how crazy football was in 60s Merseyside. I mean, you know, how was it like? People were crazy about football?
Well, it's still the same, but there was less options in those days, of course. There was the Beatles music. There was, you know, Liverpool then was a fantastic time to grow up in. You know, you obviously really enjoyed it. All I wanted to do was be a footballer, simple as that. And what stopped me was a severe lack of ability. Some people get injured. I just wasn't good enough. But I played with Tranmere for a while, the lower levels, but never good enough to make it, which is the truth. No point lying. You can't. The one place you can't hide in the world is on a football pitch. You can con everywhere else, in the media even, but you can't con on a football pitch.
But is that why you chose to be in goals?
No, once again, it's something you don't know why it happened. Like, I can't remember any sort of fantastic moment, earth-shattering moment. It just, I was in goal, simple as that, and I was tall. I played for Liverpool schoolboys, the Lancashire schoolboys, but I stopped growing, and you don't get any top-class keepers at 5'9". I was 5'9" at 14. Oh, I see. It didn't grow, but you got to be realistic. It wasn't the growth factor; it was the ability factor.
You're a very pragmatic man. That's what you strike me as. It's almost like that's.
You've got to be realistic in the world, haven't you? It's some mornings I wake up. Most mornings I wake up and think I'm the luckiest person in the world because I'm involved in football. Other days you think, oh, why didn't I get that job? But there's better coaches than me unemployed, and there's bigger con men in the work getting highly paid. So you have to justify that, and I view it that I've been blessed that I can wake up every morning and either play football or coach football or talk football.
Okay. You had idols growing up? Certain names?
As a player was Gordon Banks, the goalkeeper, but the man, the one and only man was Bill Shankly. Okay. I went to watch Liverpool train once because when I was younger I decided that I knew that there was more to football than just playing. There was more to coaching than the coaching I was getting, which was zero, to be honest. I bumped into him and I took the call. I said, "Can you give me some advice, Mr. Shankly? I'm going abroad." And his first words were, "Aye, son, you've got to learn to make tea." I had to go and make him a cup of tea, and I had to listen to him. I didn't speak. I listened for now, and he was wonderful. They say don't meet your heroes. They let you down. This fellow didn't let me down. He was everything that he was meant to be.
Now, at what age did you, it hit you that, okay, I'm not going to do this professionally, or I'm not going to be very good at it professionally as a player, so let me instead, be a coach?
Well, I went to, my headmaster said, look, you're not going to be a professional, you're not good enough, you've got to go to university. I didn't want to go, but next best thing to me was a PE teacher. So I said, right, so I went to become a PE teacher. Okay. I did my 4 years. I did an honours degree in educational psychology, which has actually helped in terms of football. My thesis was on football as well, psychology of football. And then as soon as I left university, I was offered a job coaching in the Middle East in Bahrain. And so I've taught every now and again, but never really taught. It's always been coach football. And I just found I was a better coach than I was a player.
Okay. Did you have any idols where coaching is some of the coaches that you think?
Well, in a sense, Shankly, obviously, but I saw Malcolm Allison work. He was superb. I've seen Terry Venables work, excellent. And a fellow called Eric Worthington, who sadly died now, he taught me a lot, and a guy at university taught me what coaching was, because I suddenly realised I hadn't been coached. I just played as a kid.
Yes.
I thought I was being coached, but abuse is not coaching.
All right, so what kind of coach would you say you are?
I would hope to think that I was a player's coach, because you can't live without your players. You've got to be realistic. In the game, you've got to deal with a number of people. You've got to deal with your players, you've got to deal with your administration, and you've got to deal with the journalists. I've chosen the view that your players come first. If I'm going to get sacked, I'm going to get sacked for what I believe in to be right, the honourable thing. There are other coaches who manipulate the media better than me, others who talk to the president, pick the president's best players. I can't sleep if I do that. I would like to think I'm a players coach.
When we return after the break with Steve Darby.
I must have been out when Liverpool and Man United called me that weekend. I used to think it was black and white. You would cheat or you weren't. I've learned since I've been in Southeast Asia there's a large grey area.